because Veterans Day is coming up, I wanted to share a story with you that actually happened to my dad. He gave me permission to tell it, and it's a wonderful story about soldiers. Oh, I hope I didn't give the ending away, but my dad was working in South Florida, and he was working for Sears, and a woman came in, and she had a legitimate customer complaint, but she was being very gracious. And she said, in an accent, which I'm not going to attempt, but she said, before I talk to you about this issue, I want you to know that I love your country. I love your flag. I love your soldiers. I love your strength, your compassion, your kindness. And let me tell you why I feel that way. Well, it turns out the woman was a little girl in a Nazi concentration camp. She says they were walking skeletons. They just barely had rags, no clothes, rags covering them. They were terribly abused, and one day the guards rounded up about 24 of the little girls and started marching them at gunpoint and marched them out the gates of the concentration camp. And the little girls knew that they were being marched out to a field where they would be shot, be murdered. But what could they do about it? And all of a sudden, the guards dropped their guns and started running in one direction. And of course, the little girls looked over in the other direction, and over the hills came tanks and soldiers on either side of the tanks with the American flag. The soldiers didn't speak much German, and the little girls didn't speak any English. But the soldiers ran to the little girls and picked them up and held them and fed them chocolate. And as the woman was telling the story, she said, those soldiers must have had little children at home that they missed because tears were streaming down their faces. She said, they saved our lives. Do you see why I love your country? I love your strength. I love your kindness. I love your flag. And as we approach Veterans Day, whether you served our country or not, let's all try to be the kind of soldier that would virtually pick up a child that needs help, feed it, clothe it, and save his or her life. That's my 2 cents.